Howdy, my name is Abby Aarons and I'm the coordinator for Outdoor Adventures at the Texas A&M Student Rec Center. I'm here to teach you a tutorial on how to use a Dutch oven when you're cooking outdoors. A lot of times people shy away from cooking with a Dutch oven because they think it's a very complex system, but it's actually not as difficult as you think once you break down the steps and kind of know what you're doing. A Dutch oven is like your very own portable oven that you can take on camping trips, but you can also use it in your backyard if you ever want to have some outdoor cooking experiences on your back porch. As long as you take good care of it, these are great pieces of equipment because they last for so long. The recipe I have chosen to cook for you today is a pizza recipe. So, as part of this demonstration, I will also show you how to use other outdoor cooking equipment to get your pizza prepared. Alright, if you make this recipe while you're camping, then you need to make sure you prepare ahead of time so that you pack all of the necessary pieces of equipment that you need to make this recipe so you don't leave anything behind. So I'm going to go ahead and list off all the different equipment that you'll need. So to start, you'll need one large bowl and two smaller bowls for mixing your pizza dough in and then for other uses as well. Ideally you want plastic because you're going to be camping, and so ceramic is not necessarily a great option, but this is what I have because I'm only cooking my backyard. So you need two bowls and a large bowl. Of course, you'll need measuring cups and spoons for all of your different measurements of ingredients, so make sure you tack those. A mixing spoon to mix up your dough. Next, you want to make sure you have a knife and a cutting board to cut up all of your toppings for your pizza. So if you have a little container that you can store your knife, like I have here, this keeps it from exposing any of the sharp edges to your hands if you reach into a basket that contains all of your camping equipment. So you want to make sure that you have something that your knife can be stored in. But as long as you have your knife and cutting board, you'll be able to chop some ingredients. I find it's helpful to bring a pan like so that you have a little bit of extra flat working space, whether that's to knead your pizza dough or just to have available to put chopped up ingredients and things so that you're not putting them on the ground or on a table that might get dirty. So make sure you bring something similar to this, whether that's a cooking sheet or something else. So for one of my toppings, I chose to use ground sausage. So in order to cook that meat, you need to make sure you have a skillet and a spatula to make sure it gets browned. If you choose not to use that, then you might not need these pieces of equipment to cook your pizza. But in case you do, make sure you pack these. Some other random pieces of equipment you might want to pack include a towel. That could be either a dish towel or paper towels that you have at home. Some parchment to use to make sure you have a flat space and a clean space to lay out your pizza dough so you can spread it, and this is a good use for that. It's also useful if you want to use it as a liner for inside your Dutch oven so that your pizza dough doesn't stick to the Dutch oven when it's cooking. And then finally, a little hot pad or a pot holder is always nice to pack too, just in case you're working with anything really hot. So make sure you bring that as well. So all of these pieces of equipment are pretty common in an outdoor kitchen, so it's not going to be just usable for this recipe. It's going to be pretty usable for almost any recipe that you make while you're camping. So although it may seem like there's a lot of equipment that you're packing just for this one recipe, you'll probably be able to use them for other things as well. In addition to everything else you're packing, you may also need to bring a camp stove, propane, and a lighter. For me, I'm using this to cook my sausage, so if you're not going to put sausage on your pizza, that's totally fine. You may not need this, but a burner is great. So in this case, it's a 2-burner stove, which requires propane. You can purchase this at places like Academy or Dick's Sporting Goods, but we do not rent this at Outdoor Adventures. However, we do rent a 2-burner stove and plenty of 1-burner stoves as well. You will also need a lighter to get the propane lit so that you can start cooking over an open flame. But these are some of the things you may need to pack as well.